Good morning, teachers. So today, me and my group members, consisting of me, Susan, Yuta, and Rivas, will be presenting on cultural issues faced by McDonald's in India. So before starting our presentation, I'd like to ask you that have you ever tried beef before? No. Or are you okay with beef consumption in our country?
I'm okay with it.
No?
I am okay.
Okay, but not everyone is happy with it, right? Because it is strictly against our culture and ethics. Likewise, India also has quite similar culture like that of Nepal. So to begin with, I'd like to explain about the interlink between culture and globalization. So culture basically is defined as the distinct norms and values followed by a particular group of people or with which they live by. These features and characteristics consist of music, art, religion, tradition, etc. These culture includes everything that describes a person, whether it is the way they live, the food that they eat, the clothes that they wear, or the habits that they follow. As we all know, that world is a multicultural place. The world is a multicultural place, which in turn creates a cultural gap between countries, as one country isn't familiar with the culture of the other. However, with the world becoming a global village, it has become easier for us to become familiar with the cultures and stay updated with it, with the cultures of other countries. Culture plays a significant role when it comes to business. When it comes to business, because it is up to culture whether the company will run smoothly or not. Globalization is also one of the major factors of business, but it is not easy for companies to penetrate in the global market without knowing the culture of other countries. So, to give you a brief background information about our research, I'd like to call Rivas.
Thank you, Julia. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rivas, and I'm here to talk about the aim, the methodology, and the background information of our research. The main aim of our research is to identify the cultural gap between McDonald's as a fast food chain restaurant in India. And the methodology used for this research is for better reliability and accuracy. We refer to various new articles from national dailies such as the Hindu Times, journals, and also the official website regarding the controversies that McDonald's faced in the past, which we'll be talking later on. As McDonald's isn't operating in Nepal, we had to do a qualitative secondary analysis on it. Likewise, we looked up to other online sources where we found information about the culture issues faced by McDonald's in India. Background information of our research, I'm about to explain the background information. Since McDonald's is not available in Nepal, and there could be many reasons for that. First and foremost, McDonald's is a very expensive franchise, and it will be difficult for anyone to open this franchise in Nepal. And the main ingredient of McDonald's is beef. Because of that, it's known all over the world. And the national animal of our country is cow, so we have to think about that for a while before opening the franchise in Nepal. We have to relate the menu to India's menu because our culture is somewhat same and we follow the same religion. So this is the background information of our research, and now I'd like to call Yuta for the introduction.
Thank you, Rivas. Now I'd like to tell you about McDonald's. McDonald's is an American fast food company, and it is the largest chain by revenue in the world. People from almost all over the country can get the taste of the product it has to offer. The fast food chain services over 69 million customers in over more than 100 countries. McDonald's started to sell in India in 1996, but it only made profit after it broke even in 2008 and gained brand new success in India. McDonald's menu is known all over the world for its cheap prices and good taste. Likewise, in India we can grab a piece of its burger in a cheap price. It has made many efforts to make their customer visit more than twice a day by introducing a breakfast menu and adding longer hours of services, and later on launching dinner menu. Now I would like to call Rivas Delia for more information.
Now I'll be explaining about the food culture that India has and how McDonald's adapted to it. McDonald's, the social culture of McDonald's home country, that is the United States, differs substantially from that of India. As we all know that India is well known for its diverse culture, whereas US has a low context culture. religion became one of the prominent challenges for them, as they had to look up to a wide range of population to enter the Indian market and match the Indian food standards. So to enter we all know that McDonald's is well known for its beef products, and to enter a country where 80% of the population represents Hindu, whereas 12% of them represents Muslims, religion became one of the prominent challenges for them. Therefore, they had to, keeping their cultural sensitivity regarding pork and beef consumption into consideration, McDonald's had to redesign and replace its main products. For example, they replaced their Big Mac with the Maharaja Mac, and they also introduced other vegetarian products such as the McAloo, McPuff, vegetarian pizza, etc. And to make it more definite, they also divided their kitchens into two different sections, that is the vegetarian one and the non-vegetarian one. And the employees are also distinguished according to the uniforms respectively. Despite taking all these localization strategies into action, McDonald's happened to be found guilty of using beef extracts in their French fries. The fast food chain, which has served over 200 billion proportions of French fries across the world, was charged a lawsuit of $100 million when they failed to admit that they use beef oil to fry their potato chips. The company was able to convince its Indian customers for decades that pork and beef products are strictly prohibited in the restaurants to match their religious food standard. Therefore, upon knowing this, the religious group became outraged, and this created a controversy which was followed by a violent protest against McDonald's, which led to their outlets being shut and some being raided across the country. The company later apologized by stating that they have made every possible effort to make sure that none of their customers' religious statute values are offended. They also added that in Muslim countries, they strictly follow the halal standard where no beef or pork seasoning are added. Thank you. Now I'd like to call Rivas to explain about other cultural factors that McDonald's had to take into consideration before entering the Indian market.
Thank you, Dalia. Good morning once again. And now I'd like to talk about the pricing strategy that McDonald's used in India to take control of the market. Along with the food culture, McDonald's also had to fit into the Indian population's economy. In India, middle class people are growing every day. I mean, they're earning more, so they like to spend more, and McDonald's used that as an advantage. And as Indian customers don't prefer spending much on meals and snacks in a restaurant, McDonald's introduced a specific pricing method and as a bundling strategy, which consists of a happy meal, a combo meal, a family meal, and happy price menu. This helps McDonald's to increase their sales of their products and services by giving their signature burgers in a meal. And this meal usually consists of a burger, French fries, and a soft drink. McDonald's divides its products into two categories. The first one is BA and the second one is BCB. BA stands for brand affordability, and the products that BA includes McAloo Tikki and McGrill burgers, which cost between rupees 20 to 50. Whereas BCB means brand core value products, and this mainly consists of McVeggie and McChicken burgers, which cost between rupees 50 to 60. This was done to satisfy the customers who have different price perceptions. In India, McDonald's announced a decrease in price by almost 25% for the lunch and dinner menu. Meals like McVeggie and McChicken were decreased to 85 and rupees 95 respectively, which used to cost rupees 110 and 120 respectively. A meal in McDonald's consists of, like I said, it consists of a burger, some French fries, and a soft drink. So it is a bit expensive, but this was very unusual because this reduction was introduced in a time where the price of food was increasing in India. So the McDonald's management in India were convinced, they were sure that decreasing the price of the menu and would make McDonald's a lunch and dinner destination, and it was true because people started visiting it often and they enjoyed it, and this was the pricing strategy McDonald's used to penetrate the Indian market. And now to conclude our presentation, I'd like to call Sujan. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, my name is Sujan Shahin, and today I'm going to conclude our presentation. As a matter of fact, India has a huge cultural gap than other Western countries, but despite these challenges, McDonald's were able to grow their businesses in India at a huge rate. When McDonald's was introduced in India, they had to sell chicken instead of beef, which was a huge step down for the company because beef is a main ingredient for a burger. And this changed the taste of the burger that was sold in India. This didn't matter to the company because because the public or the customer were in love with the burger, and this helped McDonald's to become one of the biggest food chain restaurant in India. McDonald's had to face a lot of problems in India during the introduction of McDonald's. The company didn't make much profit, they didn't have enough customers. To tackle this problem, McDonald's changed the menu, changed their pricing strategy. The main target of the company was emerging middle class in India, and this strategy helped this company to bloom until they finally reached their break-even point in 2008. McDonald's has been operating in India for almost 20 years now. They have to come to understand the culture of Indian people, and this gives them the advantage to face any problem that might occur in the near future to the company. To wrap up our presentation, I'd like to say that this restaurant chain has become a part of Indian people, and this will continue to serve happiness in every box. Thank you.